Oh, it's showtime.
For the first time in 20 years, the NCAA Wrestling Championships are here in Cleveland, Ohio. The home of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Quicken Loans Arena, the host site, has thousands of fans ready to watch some of the greatest athletes in college sports are here. An event that promises to deliver the excitement and energy that last year did in St. Louis. 19,000 people watching this view in the middle. Hard to find anything comparable.
As soon as you step on that line, the only thing you see is your opponent. This time the wrestler.
Jamie Cox, he's ready to write a story bookending.
Three-time national champion. Hard to believe with all that Kyle Snyder has accomplished now. There's still another year to go in his college career.
Everyone who's anyone in the sport of wrestling is here.
This tournament is better and better. Third time's the charm for Corey Clark. A repeat champion.
I've been Green Crusher.
You're going to see 5 Penn State finalists coming up.
At the verdict, the defending champ keeps the trophy. Another one for Penn State. Many thought Isaiah Martinez would continue his string of championships. Joseph takes down Martinez. How do you like that? The final match of the night, and Nickel makes it 5. Have you ever seen a finish like that one? 3-2-1, and away we go. How great it is that so many of those stars return here this year. Zane Rutherford, one of those 5 returning national champions for Penn State, trying to take them down this year. The Ohio State Buckeyes, led by one of the best to ever do it, a 2-time world champ, an Olympic gold medalist, Kyle Snyder, and Isaiah Martinez, denied a title last year, now a 4-time Big Ten champion, will look to win it all once again for Illinois. Back here in Cleveland for the first time since '98, when it was just across downtown, the Wolstein Center, Cleveland State University. Penn State looking to make it 7 in 8 years, and 12 past champions in the field. 8 of them winning titles last year. So glad to have you here with us as we start our 3-day adventure. Mike Cousins and Hall of Fame inductees Tim Johnson and Anthony Robles, also a former 125-pound national champion. The throne, the crown, belongs to Penn State this year, but there are certainly a lot of contenders looking to knock them off that seat.
Well, this definitely, Mike, will be a 2-horse race the next 3 days between the defending champion Penn State and the Big Ten champions Ohio State. Horse races, they come down to a neck or a nose. This race, I believe it could come down to one big move. I believe the winner will have 8 to 10 All-Americans. Ohio State have 5 wrestlers that could win a national title. Penn State have 5 wrestlers who have already. So am I saying I think Penn State will win it? No. We're in Cleveland, Ohio. It's the backyard of Ohio State. You got to give them that edge right there. Another note, I believe there are 4 or 5 teams that are really good. In another year, they would be talking about a national title. That's why this year is so special. That's why I believe the greatest sports spectacle in the country is about to begin.
And Anthony, of the 10 weight classes, there are certain favorites among those, but there are other classes that seem to be wide open this year.
There are, and right now I got my eye on 4 weight classes, 125, 149, 165, and 184. Each of these weight classes has 2 returning national champions, so they're pretty stacked. But speaking of champions, Kyle Snyder, heavyweight, he's a man on a mission right now. World champion, Olympic gold medalist. Snyder's hoping to finish off his college career this weekend on the top of the podium. And if he can do that, he'll be just the 5th NCAA champion, 3-time NCAA champion, and heavyweight in Division I history.
He's limited his collegiate wrestling over the last several years because of his focus on international competition. Tells you exactly how good he is. We'll have all 6 sessions for you across ESPN Network's 10 weight classes, 640 matches, and 330 wrestlers converging here in Cleveland, with it all wrapping up Saturday, 8 Eastern on ESPNU, and we'll have the privilege of sitting that side for the championship rounds. So as we get into our pigtail matches here to get the afternoon started, we start at 149. And you can keep track of scoring with the ankle bands for the wrestlers. So red on your bottom left there for Rutgers.
It's talking about rat tails?
Red ankle bands in green for Minnesota.
Guess you got to get the rat tails on.
All weekend long. So 10 weight classes. It's 7 minutes of regulation time across 3 periods. 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and 2 minutes. And then overtime, which becomes sudden victory after that.
When people say 7 minutes, I thought they were talking about overtime.
Blyce in that first period. That's one of the things you want to do. You want to get the pace going early on, especially at this national tournament. The jitters are high. You're excited. You want to go out there, control the match, score first.
And that was big for Blyce, just like you said, because these guys are split this year. A 3-2 win for DeLuca at the Midlands, and Blyce winning in the Big Ten Championships as a full. And the key is to be on their offense. Blyce was on his offense quick, and that was a key.
DeLuca, the redshirt senior from Oregon, a record of 12-11 this year. Down 1 here in the early going as the first period hit zeros. Conference championships this year. Ohio State edging out Penn State a couple weekends ago at East Lansing, Michigan at the Breslin Center. DJ, you were there. Very exciting weekend for those schools. Interesting to see around college wrestling this year. Missouri in the MAC, they win their 6th straight title with 7 individual champions. And Lehigh getting their first in the EIWA since 2006, bringing to an end a streak of 11 straight from Cornell.
And a shout out to Pat Santoro, the head coach for Lehigh, the NWCA head coach of the year, just awarded this week for that stopping the streak of Cornell. The Lehigh coach, great job.
Another solid takedown there by Blyce. Got in on that high C right away, switched out to double leg. Wasn't able to finish, so he kind of cut that corner, took control of those hips of DeLuca. Way to keep your offense going.
Earlier this year, DeLuca was down 4-5-0 to Keyshawn Hayes. 2 lateral drops in the last minute. He can throw, and you can see Blyce was not going to get into any type of situation to allow DeLuca to go up above him.
This is an EIWA rejection match number 7.
Both these guys transfers. They started other places.
And DeLuca's in his 2nd year at Rutgers, was unattached last year, went 6-1, but injury ended his season early, a concussion and a torn ACL. Sidelined him after he spent his first couple of years at Northern Colorado and at Clackamas Community College in Oregon.
Blyce coming over from Northern Illinois. Filling in a really solid play for Minnesota Gophers, who are in the middle of a rebuilding phase by second-year coach Brandon Egan.
So you'll follow along with us. Scoring near fall back points can be 2 or 4, depending on the count from the official. 2 for a takedown or a reversal. 1 for the escape point and for riding time as well, which you'll see on the scoreboard in excess of 1 minute, 1 point to be awarded at the end of that. So 4-3 Blyce in the early lead in the early going. The defending champion, Darian Cruz. We'll get ready to see him take the floor here in Cleveland. And Nathan Tomasello, one of the contenders for the crown at 125. That and more when we return.
So y'all just gonna write Soriano off. Y'all just gonna write Soriano off. Oh my goodness. All right, I think I can.
He's polite, he's sportsmanlike, and he understands the tradition of excellence at Lehigh. Both wins in this tournament, 1 point at a time, 1 match at a time. That's how you win it all. Darian Cruz of Lehigh on deck, mat 3.
The defending national champion at 125 pounds as a number 4 seed in St. Louis, going up against
Lezak.
Minnesota's Ethan Lezak.
Oh, that's first round?
Away the champion there.
I'll trick him up. That's my bad.
Now this year will try to become Lehigh's first multiple-time champion and 6th overall since 1983.
Oh, that was a close match, though.
The guy was a #1 seed at 125 pounds.
Come on, Lezak.
Anthony, this is the weight class that you know best. Does he get enough respect for being
He's a
the
senior,
defending
too.
national
Ooh.
champion?
I don't believe he does.
Okay.
And I like Darren Cruz. He's just a humble guy.
I like that
hard
he's
worker.
with Lehigh,
I remember
though.
listening to an interview he did earlier this year, and he said, I
Does
remember
Buddy
going to
got
my first college
cornrows?
practice. He said, my only goal was to get a
He got
takedown.
cornrows.
And he's really evolved. I'm just really impressed with him on his feet. He's got a number of takedowns. His offense is just so impressive. He's got great low-level shots. Can't wait to watch him going here.
You know, we like to go for the underdog.
So he gets started against Rayvon Foley of Michigan State. 26-0 for Cruz. And Foley at 28-9. Same mark, 28-9, that Cruz had as a true freshman back in 2014 when he finished 7th at NCAA's in Oklahoma City, becoming Lehigh's first true freshman All-American since 1980 that year.
Oh,
Cruz is very
and Michigan
athletic,
State?
and I've always thought he looks like a kid that's very easy to coach. I mean, he's fluid, he's smooth,
Huh?
and his demeanor.
Come on, you got to get a good reshot,
He
man.
rallies to win
Huh?
a lot, and it's just looks like he's a pleasure for
Snap.
Coach
Catch him leaning,
Santero
man. Catch him
to
leaning.
coach.
He's fluid. We got to
Every
get
time
aggressive,
they
man.
break,
Pick up the
Cruz
pace.
puts
What
the air
up?
when the man gets low. That's where he's the most dangerous, when he break contact. He has that space and he gets low right there. He likes to shoot those low-level shots extremely fast.
This is a great young freshman, true freshman, Rayvon Foley for Michigan State. He had some big wins this year, and has come on and wrestling his best at this time.
Did a nice job so far here in the first minute to keep Cruz away from his ankles.
Anthony, you've experienced this from both sides, but here's a fifth-year senior and a true freshman. That usually is the difference.
It definitely is a difference. And Foley, he's doing a great job. He's staying in great position. His defense is solid. He's got to get that offense going.
There he
Nope,
is.
nope. Oh, wow. Get your arm out. Get up,
Great counter
up.
wrestling there by Cruz. Foley did take a shot there, but he was just too wide open, too high up. Cruz was easily able to counter that and went for that whip over. Easy takedown there for Cruz. But Foley's still in this matchup. He can get this escape, get back up to his feet. He's got to shake that off. He's get back to trying to score that offense. He's got to be in a better position.
There we go. Put the arm up. Get up.
We'll be watching it throughout the tournament as the seats hold.
There we go.
He's so comfortable everywhere. He's just really comfortable and skilled
Run
in
back to the
every
left.
position.
What's
It
going on?
sounds like Tim exactly
What's
to the
going
point
on?
of what
Oh,
Anthony
maybe I'm doing
was
too
mentioning
much.
as well. As a guy who's coachable.
What is going on?
And to be able to get comfortable everywhere, you've got to be coachable everywhere.
That's a really good point, Mike, because you got to be able to put yourself in uncomfortable positions in the practice room to get comfortable when you're out in the competition. And so it's really a good point that you make, because some wrestlers don't ever want to put themselves
Oh,
in
I
uncomfortable
mean,
positions because they just want to score
This
the
is
takedown
crazy.
in practice instead of learning.
I'm not sure.
Beautiful little knee tap
There
spin
you go.
behind there
Get
by
up,
Cruz.
up,
He's got that
up.
offense
You gotta bounce
going.
back up.
He's just so quick. When he's ready to move, he throws through. It's really hard to get that action at the top.
Up, back, boom. Come on. You gotta get it. There you go. Get that arm out. Let's go.
Anthony,
You gotta get big in the weight room, man.
as a champion coming this year versus last year.
Cruz, you know, he's just a
There you go.
senior
Let's
year.
go. Let's
Just
go.
that constant repetition that he's had in that practice room. He is a hard worker. He is coachable. And you can
I'll
bet
time
he's
up.
drilled his takedowns hundreds of times. So that's the difference out here on the mat this year. He has that confidence behind him. He's got the years of experience, and you can see it in his actions.
And that's the coach of the year.
You gotta keep down, bro. You gotta do something, man.
Toro,
Okay, so number one.
champion out of Pittsburgh.
You gotta do something. There
Tremendous
we go.
job at Lehigh.
four-time All-American at Pittsburgh, went 97-3 over his last 3 seasons, and comes Santoro, his coach does, from a family of wrestlers.
I remember my senior year. I feel like there's so much pressure on
There you go.
going out.
Let's go. Come on,
Hearing
let's work.
Cruz talk, he said, I'm just enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying the ride. I love wrestling. I love my teammates. I'm just going to go out there and have fun. And you can see it in his style. He's just so loose, so fluid. When he moves, you see right there, he's just bouncing around just like in practice. He's just having fun out there.
So, Anthony, was that the same for you?
It wasn't. My senior year, there was a lot of pressure I put on
So get
myself.
underhook.
I was nervous as
Underhook.
heck, but I enjoyed
gotta get him
it. I
back.
enjoyed
Come
the
on.
ride. I really did. Some wrestlers, they thrive on that pressure to put on themselves.
Oh, good.
Cruz is different. He just likes to relax and have fun.
Already accumulating almost a minute of riding time before the end of the first period. And now approaching the midway point of the second. As Foley tries to get outside, and Cruz keeps the toes inside.
There we go.
I'll tell you what.
Let's work. Run up to the center.
In the
Let's go.
future, I love this Foley from Michigan State. He's fearless. I mean, he's got a lot of talent. He's got a great future in front of him. But he is not afraid. He's staying right in this with the national champion.
That's what
I agree with you,
defense.
Tim. Foley's got some great defense going here. He's quick. You can see it in his movement. He just needs that time to develop his confidence, develop his shots a little bit more on his feet. So he does have a promising future if he keeps working hard at wrestling.
Let's get tough. Come on, we should have clipped
Cruz
that.
leading a nice
Oh, no, you had it.
contingent here
Let's
as
go.
the defending
Ah,
champion.
let's go.
With 4 other of his teammates
Man, you better not lose it.
EIWA
Come on.
titles this year
Nope.
for their 35th
Nope, let's go. Let's go.
conference
Get your arm out.
championship, only their first in
God,
6.
Great shot by Foley.
Step
with elbow
over. There we
deep,
go.
right? And he's trying to crack
Let's go.
his
Let's
elbow
go.
for
Get
2.
you.
And great scramble to get out of it by the national champion. Wow. He had him cracked down.
How was that not 2?
Foley had that 2, and magically, Cruz scrambled out of it.
Quite a perilous spot there for the defending champion at 125 pounds. A takedown would have tied it. Riding time still in favor of Cruz here going into the third.
We'll see that a lot, won't we, Anthony? That would have been at the end of the period. It would have been a ride out. It would have been a huge takedown for Foley, but that was a huge escape from a lot of trouble for the national champion.
I agree with you there, Tim. Cruz had a nice escape there, just fending off that takedown. And Foley, now that's a frustrating thing there. He's had a nice shot, was in that crackdown position. Looked like he tried to step over to the right
There you go.
with his legs instead of trying to cover up the hips with his hands. That's one of those things that you learn in practice when you get that constant repetition. That's a good lesson there for Foley. He goes back and watch this matchup, what he needs to do differently because he could have had to.
And starting out on top during the final period, he's
They're running
eliminating the
time
riding
down.
time
They're running
advantage for
time.
Cruz. And even 4-2 with 95 seconds left in the
There
opening
you go.
round
Get him down.
matchup.
Ride him hard.
Good decision here to try to ride
Pressure.
Cruz and get
Ah,
some
come
near
on.
points. Unfortunately, you got the escape there, but it really wasn't working from his feet. So now we try something different, see what I got on top.
Get the running time down. The takedown.
Foley
You
was
got
the
to
one
really
that
take
right now
down.
is taking
Let's
territory.
work.
He's stepping into it.
I love it. You're feeling quick enough.
If I'm Foley, I really got to start paying attention to the body language of Cruz. As you said, Tim, Cruz is backing up, Foley's gaining ground. And I got to believe that's part of it. This is the
Let's go.
first round, big cutting, weigh-ins. So Foley's been in this matchup all the way through. Cruz's conditioning is starting to play a factor now.
Let's go. On the deep. Let's work, Sean. Woo. Come on. There you go. Woo! Let's go, Foley.
And he gets around on him. He gets 2.
Let's go, Foley.
It's now a 1-point difference with 41 seconds.
Let's go, Foley.
Now he's got a decision to make because a ride out
Let's go.
doesn't do him any good.
No.
He's saying, give him one. Here we go.
Let's go.
Young's refreshed.
Let's go. Let's work.
Rousey,
Snap.
the defending national
Hold that.
champion.
Hold that.
Anthony,
Hold
where's
that.
the attacker here?
And he wait
Just
for
got to keep that
look for the
movement going,
reshot.
some good fakes there, level
Look for the
changing.
reshot.
Just keep those snaps going.
Hey.
Try to create an angle where
Hey,
you
let's
get
go.
deep in on a
Let's
shot.
go get an angle. There we go. Up. Come on, Foley. This is big time, man.
He's only taken one shot.
There you go.
He's got to take more than that.
Yeah, he got to take like 2 or 3 shots. Come on, Foley. You got this one. Oh, they gave him a what? How are they going to give him a stalling call?
The stall call not going to do any good.
Oh, that's
everybody
crazy.
who was spinning back inbound so he wouldn't give up another stalling point there, getting in that front.
I cannot believe they gave him another
point. It was a pretty
point.
win there at the end of the match, but he got it done. He's moving on
That's
to the next round.
crazy. How was that stalling? He took one shot.
Rayvon Foley, 28-9 the save
Good job,
mark that
Cruz.
Darian
Cruz ain't
Cruz
gonna make
had
it.
in
I'm
his
telling you right now.
freshman year, but the
Let me tell you
undefeated
something right
season
now.
continues here.
Let
The
me tell you something right now.
125-pound defending champion improving to 27-0 and getting a little bit of a scare, delivering some excitement as well. Let's go down to Quinn.
Darian, congratulations. Survive in advance. What was your mindset late in that match?
It's always score points. He was tough, athletic.
Yeah.
Capitalized
Foley's
on
going to be good.
my bad shots. It's the first one. Only up from here, you know.
Thanks, Darian. Mike.
Now on match 7, sudden victory here with the number 5 seed, Sean Faust out of NC State.
Man, Foley had that.
So we've got a challenge break that's been thrown with 19 seconds left here.
He's 5th-year senior, trying to break through for the first time, and so we'll know. I was looking at the Barney in Navarro from Missouri.
Michael McGee from Old Dominion, 28-8 this year.
That'd be so cool.
So as the officials go over to look here in sudden victory to see exactly how it played out.
When he cut across there, did you see him cut across? And they're probably wondering, hey, did he have that? The hips on the ground, was his arm cut across? Should have been in 2.
Still waiting to see how this plays out. Already early drama at 125. The number 1 seed getting a good scare from Rayvon Foley. From Michigan State, and here we go, back to it. 19 seconds.
And more shit. There we go. Good tough. This guy's wrestling, man.
And nobody's able to break free over those final 19 seconds.
This is going to be an upset year. I feel
All.
it. This is going to be an upset kind of year.
These light wrestlers, they cut more weight often. These morning rounds with an hour weigh-in, this is a risky time for the higher seeds right here because it evens the whole thing up sometimes from the weight cut. Because just an hour ago, these guys were weighing in.
Suck them back. What do you do? Oh, what a spin. Stay tough. There you go. Doing a great job
You
keeping
get in
this.
here in the morning about
Keeping this.
10:30, and you've got
Spinning
a
with this.
sea of guys sitting in their underwear,
Let's go.
scrolling out across the mats, getting ready to weigh in.
Get up.
And there's a point. Quick.
Yeah, Mike, the other thing that I'd like to hear Anthony and Tim comment on is the level of nerves and anxiety is never higher than it is here of the morning of this first round. You know, the top seeds come out, all the expectation, all the talk, all the hopes and dreams. And typically we've seen some seeded wrestlers in past years kind of underperform in the first round and then settle down. they get used to the big crowd, they get used to the warm-up routine, the tunnels, the acoustics, and they settle in and start performing better as the tournament matures.
I just remember competing, and honestly, before I reached the finals, this first round was always the hardest for me mentally and physically. Just going out there with all the nerves, with the weight cutting, just being so excited. It's always tough going out there. So one of our things that coach used to tell us is you go out there, try to take your opponent to the deep water. You push them, see what they're made of, see what if they have their gas tank on them yet, and you'll be surprised how many upsets you can get in this first round.
And the loss is so huge because the way back is so long. And so this is the worst time for that top seed or those high seeds to lose because it's almost, when you look at the history, impossible to come all the way back and get that third place because it takes 7 straight wins from this round.
7 straight wins.
So Sean Faust in overtime emerges as the victor there. And now we get to see former Penn State Nittany Lion and now Rutgers star of the night,
This is what I'm talking
Nick
about right
Suriano.
Y'all like,
And he finishes that off with a tech fall
y'all are completely forgetting him, bro.
in period
Might give
number
him
2. A
credit.
storyline will be following
Cruz
will be Suriano throughout the course of this weekend here in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Nathan Tomasello of Ohio State just underway.
Well, all wrestling fans know Tomasello from the 4 years of watching him, but one thing we've always known is he's a powerhouse of a kid. He's very strong and really explosive when he goes.
Winner of the Big Ten Championship this year, a 10-7 decision over Minnesota's Ethan Lezak. Just the 15th wrestler in the 106-year history of the Big Ten to win 4 individual titles. Isaiah Martinez accomplishing the same feat as well.
Great counsel up for that cement mixer on the edge of the mat. Tomasello, he's one of those guys, he's physical, he likes to pummel you in the tie-ups there. Townsend's a guy who likes to go upper body, so he doesn't mind getting in those positions. He'll battle right back with you and be in your face.
This is home mat advantage all weekend long for Tomasello. Just minutes from where he grew up in Parma, Ohio, about 10 miles from here in downtown Cleveland. Went to Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy, where he was a 4-time Ohio State champion.
Nice shot there by Tomasello on that right side, one of his favorite shots. I just like how disciplined he is. Moving forward, stalking, staying in great position, hard snap, getting on the high C right there, going for some near fall points. It's great transition wrestling there by Tomasello.
And he knew right where he was. You saw his right foot staying in bounds. And when he gets going on a roll, he tends to really make it happen just like that.
Townsend is trying to drag him out of the circle, and it ends with him looking up to the sky as he takes the fall and Tomasello moves on.
Did we talk about the importance of bonus points? That's 2 extra points right there. The pin by Tomasello for the Buckeyes.
So right on the edge of the mat, controlling that leg. Throwing Townsend flat out. That's a tough position to be in for the bottom guy.
Great action at 125 to start. At 133, the guy who spent the entire year ranked number 1, Seth Gross, takes the net.
The lateral drop of his coach, Terry.
Oh, he beat Gross? Oh, no, that's last year. I'm about to say.
Yeah, Seth Gross, as you can see, he's tall and long. And he's really hard to wrestle. He's incredibly good on top, but what I've noticed about him is he's also very hard to score on. So he's very dangerous offensively. You talked about his only loss. What a win for wrestling this year. He steps up to meet Bryce Meredith, so the two number ones go after each other. So a lot of credit to the coaches for having that for the fans to watch with Wyoming and South Dakota State.
Meredith at 141. I mean, how rare is that for somebody to say, for the good of the sport and for the fans here, I'm going to make that decision, even though it's not in my favor?
Well, here's how rare it is. I remember what happened when I was a kid, and Dave Gable moved up to wrestle Mike Grant from Oklahoma. So you had two national champions, number one guys going after it. And I've never forgotten that. I mean, that's just you know, it was a tremendous thing, and I don't think it happens enough because people forget that, you know, you've got fans to entertain, and it's about the fun in the sport as well.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tim. Seth Rhodes, just hats off to him just for being able to do that, go up weight, don't care about your record, just go out there and scrap with the guy, really promote the sport, try to grow it, get some excitement going.
A dominant ride in the first 3 minutes. 2:20 of riding time for Gross. Going up against Matthew Schmidt in his first NCAAs out of West Virginia. Now we see the number 5 seed here at 133. Ernestine from Missouri down 2 at 20 seconds to go in period number 2.
Nice little ride there by Wilson. So Ernestine doing some Granby rolls, trying to flip around, get some hip separation there, but Wilson stayed disciplined, followed those hips, he stayed low, didn't fall for any of those scramble traps.
What Wilson's doing is he's doing what you do against a rider. You ride a rider because Ernestine is very good on the mat, and he tasted his own medicine there. Wilson doing a great job on top.
Three minutes of riding time there as well for Wilson. So dominant first 2 periods. Doolittle has not lost since then.
Wilson, what a job he's doing right here because he's keeping the pressure on, as Anthony said. He's pushing on top, working forward, and more than time than not, Ernestine's head's on the mat. And this is a big, big win for Wilson from Stanford.
The 7-3 is impressive, but almost 5 minutes of riding time is nearly jaw-dropping here. And an upset as the number 5 seed goes down. And Tariq Wilson of NC State picks up the first round victory. Wrestling in his home state here, the native of Ohio. How about that? Coming out ready to go from the first whistle. Let's go down to Quinn.
Tariq, congratulations. Where did your belief start?
With the coaches. First, I had to believe in myself. Once I started that, I started listening to them. Told me to stay on offense. That's what I strived for.
What do you think made the difference?
My wrist control, definitely. Getting riding time on top. I felt like he was breaking, so I continued to ride tough and look for turns, and then just got me through the match.
What should we expect to see from some of your teammates, NC State?
A lot of offense, staying out there trying to get points, trying to end this tournament with the team trophy. So a lot of trying to get a lot of bonus points, get majors, whatever you can.
Great start, Tariq. Mike.
A red shirt last year in his first NCAA tournament, business administration major, taking care of business in his opening round match. Same for Gross as well, riding things out for a victory. Up at 141, we told you about Bryce Meredith and what he's been able to do for the Cowboys this year. Jaden Ironman try and build things up for Missouri after Ernestine goes down. And one of the more exciting names, harder to pronounce in college wrestling, but you want to see him on the mat, Cornell's Yanni Diaco-Mohales.
points from their stars. Jimmy's going to be here over the 6 sessions analyzing both on .com and for us downstairs. Mike?
Quinn, moments ago, as you mentioned, that pin behind you guys at 133, Corey Keener against Dom Forries of Pittsburgh. Keener for Penn State, a 4-time qualifier, is pinned. That is big. Moving up now to 141 with the number 1 seed, Bryce Meredith, the senior from Wyoming.
So what are the implications there, guys, for that win? Well, that wasn't an expected win by Penn State team. So they did not expect. I mean, they certainly hoped. And Keenan King, he's a graduate student transfer from Central Michigan, a 3-time NCAA qualifier, came in. What they're hoping for is that he can give them a few points coming back in the consolation. So for him, the tournament expectations are yet to come.
Meredith bounced back from a loss to end the season. The Big 12 championship win over Dean Heil. He goes up against the Pac-12 champion here, Colton Schilling out of Cal Poly.
Good counter wrestling there by Meredith. Schilling looked like he was giving a nice shot there, trying to finish it off, but Meredith just giving those heavy hits, that quick spin behind, another 2 points there.
Now 1:20 left here in the third. With Meredith not looking eager to relinquish his position.
Now this is big. Look at this. He catches a cow catcher's got the chin. This is Deal from Maryland behind at the time against number 8, Nick Lee, the freshman. And this is a big pin. And they did not expect this. The Penn State Nittany Lions. Lee goes down. The true freshman came out of redshirt earlier in the year and is pinned by his Big Ten rival, Deal.
Ryan Deal, who went 11-12 during the season, and that is his first pin of the year. What a time to do it. Anthony, what impresses you with Bryce Meredith?
Just his ability to scramble, he's transitioning. You see right there, he's working on that chicken wing on the left side, sunk in a half, put in the leg. He's just always looking to score. He's always looking to attack. He's so dangerous on the mat and on his feet. He's just a fun guy to watch.
Out in front 4-0 here against Colton Schilling, the Pac-12 champ. 9 of his 14 wins this year came via the pin.
We're looking at rivals on these opposed screens here. Meredith's nemesis, Kevin Jack.
So it's Jack in the red. 4th time qualifying here for the NCAA tournament for the senior out of Danbury, Connecticut. And a 2-time All-American, 3rd place last year. And finishing 5th in 2015.
It's so tough. I think it was a hiccup in the ACC that kept him seated this low. He's long and leechy. We're talking about Kevin Jack, and he's really good and has been since his freshman year.
Now, he lost to Virginia Tech redshirt freshman Brent Moore in the ACC's in sudden victory, 6-4.
2-time All-American.
And the number 6 seed from Oklahoma State, Dean Heil, down 2-0, 2 minutes into the first period as well on the right side there.
And he's not just he's a 6th seed that's a 2-time NCAA champion for the Cowboys. And he's just not had his best year, hasn't really broken out this year, and usually has started slow, both in seasons and in matches. But it's been a tough one for Dean Heil.
I think one of the things that has made it so tough on Hyle is he's got guys like Jack, he's got guys like Meredith in his weight class who can score a lot of points. They go out there and they're constantly attacking. Hyle's one of those guys, he wins those close matches. He's a great counter wrestler, he can scramble really well. He doesn't score a lot of points. So when you face up against those guys who can score points, who have those high-powered offense, it makes it difficult to get those matches won.
And he's back at home as well. Out of Brunswick, Ohio, about 30 minutes southeast from here in downtown Cleveland. So first period, Ohio on the right has him up 3-2, and 35 left in the first with Kevin Jack of NC State on the left side. 2-0, but a 2-minute advantage in Rodington.
You know, one thing that I noticed that we see, quote unquote, a lot of upsets. There's a couple of reasons. We never used to seed to 16, and so we call an upset when a 16, a seeded wrestler gets upset. And sometimes it's not so much of an upset. But now you have a week to get ready. Back in the day, you had it overnight. You got the brackets at 9 o'clock at night. People were looking around. Who do I have? Now they're looking a week ahead. You're looking at the video, and there's all that opportunity, the coaching to come in, the following the coaching, and I think that's one of the reasons we're seeing more upsets in the first round.
4-2 for Heil, his lead. And 35 in the second, going up against Evan Cheek of Cleveland State. The last time the NCAA tournament was held here in Cleveland back in '98, it was at the Wolstein Center, the on-campus big basketball venue over on the east side of downtown, belongs to Cleveland State. Woodland Gymnasium, where they hold the wrestling matches, less than a mile away from here. Heil 23-5 this year. As Jeep went 24-8. Give 2 more to Jack with a takedown. His lead expands to 4-0 as his riding time approaches 3 minutes. No takedown. 2-1 lead.
Jack really doing a nice job, just really securing that tight waist, pressuring forward, going for those arm chops. So right there, he's controlling that right leg of Rolfing, just keeping the pressure in that top position. Rolfing doesn't have any ability here to really get back up to his base and get that escape point. So, way to ride there by Jack.
Heil back-to-back championships. Looking like he will take a 2-point advantage into the third, barring any more scoring here in the second. The man to beat after taking down George D. Camillo of Virginia last year and Bryce Meredith of Wyoming 2 years ago after finishing 4th in 2015. And now you see the number 3 seed, Yanni Diaco-Mahales. You guys, you each have to say it 4 times fast before we leave on Saturday.
I'll get mine in because the hockey.
Oh for 1.
Yanni,
as he's widely known around the wrestling community, the freshman from Rochester, New York, regular season record of 28-1.
The Diaco-Mahales. There you go.
Anthony, would you like to try and do better?
Diaco-Mahales.
One and done. One and done.
And he is really good. Only a freshman, and he's good everywhere.
4-time New York State champion, committed to Cornell as a sophomore. They're happy to see him now. Let's go down to Quint once again.
I spent some time with Yanni yesterday. He said, "You can call me Yanni D. It's okay." Jimmy, and from a style standpoint, he's one of the better funk wrestlers you tell me that you've seen in a long time.
Yeah, he's just a pleasure to watch. Great scrambler. he'll give you a wrist or something like that, but he'll put it in place, put his arm in a place that he wants to be able to continue to improve his scrambles. And he can go out and manufacture points when he wants to attacks below the knee. And right now, he's basically waiting for his opponent to put the leg in. He's looking for a reversal. So when you see him not in a hurry to get out, he's looking for something big.
Rochester, New York area. He's wrestled in a lot of big matches in freestyle, internationally, national championships. But what is he dealing with right now in his first match as a freshman in the NCAA tournament?
Well, I think the Cornell corner is really happy. He collected some easy points here at the 2-minute mark of the match, and then he followed it up with some back points right afterwards. So, he's going to pressure in. There's the little misdirection shot, arm drag one direction, kind of collecting the far ankle. And these points are getting easier as the match is going on.
So you look for incremental improvement now from here on out from him as he settles in, basically.
Well, he's really good to start with.
Yeah. No, I mean from a comfort standpoint.
Yes, exactly.
What do you make of? We're on the opposite side of the arena, but what do you make of those two pins up against the Nittany Lions?
Well, Tim mentioned it. Maybe not expecting a lot from Corey Keener, but Nick Lee was the number 8 seed. And so you've got to come in here with the attitude that you'd like to have 10 guys in the finals. Penn State's case 9 guys, but you got to wrestle all the way through to where your hand is not raised for the second time.
Yanni in control, Mike. Good debut for the freshman.
Quite exactly as it was the first time these two guys met at the Cliff Keen Invitational back in December. A 9-1 major over Nick Zanetta of Pittsburgh. Yanni was the winner there at 141. Some exciting wins, including Bryce Meredith in sudden victory there as Cornell won its 16th straight Ivy League title this year. He's got a strong advantage here coming down to the end of period number 2. Only loss this year for Yanni was against then third-ranked Jaden Ironman back on December 30th, 9-6, the decision. So 141 at the top, guys. Is this one of the more crowded top of bracket weight classes?
I think you said it well there, because any one of those guys could win this whole thing at 141, and that's not the way it is with most of the weight classes.
We saw there seeds 1 through 5 of 141. Even the number 7 seed, Brock Zockerl of Clarion, is 27-1. He's a 3-time NCAA qualifier as well.
One of the things Jeff Moss does so well, he's in the tight position. He controls the hands of his opponents, stays in great head position, lowers that level down. He's quick. So he's just very disciplined, especially as a freshman coming through. He's very disciplined and very advanced in his style and his technique.
They tumbled out of bounds inside a minute to go. Remember the first time they met? It was a 9-1 victory for the freshman from Cornell. And there's more to follow in this family as well. His younger brother, Greg, who was just a sophomore in high school last month, already won his 3rd state title.
Out there getting on that single leg, kind of going to the waterfall position, just really securing that ankle. Going up with 2 points there.
Reminds me of one of his heroes, Dake, who he was when he was young, and how comfortable and good in every position that Yanni is. We mentioned before the 4 New York State high school championships for him. One of only 7 to do that. One of those in that group is Kyle Day. So they meet twice this year, and identical scores both times of 9-1. He locked in the riding time point early, and at the riding time point on, I should say it's 10-1 with the addition of that point. So a combined score of 19-2 in those 2 matchups against Nick Zanetta, a redshirt senior from Pittsburgh. Good start for the freshman. He's with Quinn.
Nice start, Yanni.
Thank you.
What was the biggest challenge you were dealing with today?
Kid's a tough first round match. Wrestling the quarterfinals is the biggest tournament, so he's a big guy for the weight. I knew I was going to have to wrestle hard, get to my attacks, get to my scores, and keep attacking the whole match.
You do some things that are unconventional. The takedown at the end where you put his leg, he wanted to go and you kind of went with him. Where does that stuff come from?
A lot of play wrestling, a lot of trying new things in the room, willing to put yourself in non-ideal positions to get better.
So just rehearsing those scenarios.
Yeah. Not playing it safe, putting yourself in those positions and learning how to wrestle out of them.
Congratulations. Good start, Yanni. Mike.
Getting comfortable being uncomfortable, paying off for Yanni Diaco Mahales. That's a look at 141. At 149, Big Ten champion and the longest winning streak in the country at 89 matches for Zane Rutherford. The Zane train making a stop in Northeast Ohio this weekend. Against Con, 2-point win in that game, and now we welcome you back here to Cleveland and head to the 149-pound bracket. Zane Rutherford, the number 1 seed from Penn State, getting ready to take the mat against Kyle Springer of Eastern Michigan, and a look back at what he's done in the NCAA's. Strong wherever he's been, an 89-match winning streak coming here to Northeast Ohio. Two-time defending national champion last year, going up against Le'Veon Mays of Missouri, and the Hodge Trophy winner as well last year, the highest award in collegiate wrestling. So 89-0, he hasn't lost since March of 2014 against Edinburgh's Mitchell Port. March 22nd of that year.
If you're going to lose, you might as well get up there and get physical.
So as Rutherford gets set to take the mat, we look at the number 2 seed.
And this is number 2 seed for Missouri. We talked about their high seeds. J.D. Ironman, he's the most dangerous Mizzou wrestler since Ben Askren. I mean, he's dominating in scrambles and he can pin from anywhere. But he's up against a tough Headley here and having a tough first period was tough. And when I say that he's the most dangerous wrestler since Ben Askren was a 2-time NCAA champion for Mizzou. So a tough first period for Ironman. We'll see if he can explode out again.
Ironman at 141 pounds, 28-1 record this year. His only loss back in Reno in mid-December against Bryce Meredith of Wyoming.
Nice shot there by Ironman. Level changing, dropping down right off his knee, just blasting through that shot. And again, it's quick release, go right in for an attack. But good job here by Headley, just going in for those legs, trying to keep his offense going as well.
He dropped in on that low ankle, wheeling nicely off the shot of Ironman. Headley trying to get his hips underneath him and drive through, but they're going to have a stalemate here and go back to their feet.
5-3 the lead for Ironman, the number 2 seed at 141 and into a 149-pound
They got to put both of them at the zone because Rutherford is selling tickets and ratings.
Between Ironman, I've talked about him being explosive like that, but right there he got taken down on the left, but he's pretty relaxed and laid back when he's out on the mat. But when you look at Rutherford, those feet are moving all the time.
Like how Rutherford is constantly just stalking forward. They're constantly head moving, snapping hard, very physical, those ties.
When Ironman and Headley met earlier this year, Missouri, North Carolina duel back right before New Year's. It was a 15-5 major decision in favor of the Missouri Tigers.
He's done a nice job of keeping this match close right now. He's still down by a point. Some time left. He's got to get a good shot going here.
Look at the funk of Ironman there. Looking for the 2 points, and he does get the 2. Looking for a count. Got the 2 count as well. A 4-point move with his legs used as his arms.
Yeah, beautiful job there by him. Look how he just caught that leg break off Headley's shot. Great awareness there.
And a way to finish it off. And taking down Headley for the second time this year. So all eyes on Rutherford. 2-time defending champion and 3-time All-American.
This is the number one position you do not want to be in if you're wrestling against a guy like Rutherford. He's so tough in top. He throws that leg on the right side. So that back bow, and he's just so physical. Right there, he's working the bow.
He wrestles every second of every match, no matter what positions he's in, no matter if it's somebody he's dominating or in a close match, which he doesn't have many. But this guy just has a pace that won't quit. That's why he's a 2-time NCAA champion, a 3-time All-American.
The bonus points he's accumulated over the course of his career have just been astounding. 75% of his wins have come with bonus points for his career, including 88% this year coming into the NCAA championship.
You see why he's just constantly pressuring in that top position. He's always on his toes, driving forward. He's right there working the hammerlock.